One man, I took what he wrote. He said, yes, we are men and women after God's own heart, but we find ourselves lying sometimes. Yes, we are men and women after God's own heart, but we find ourselves hating one another at times. Yes, we are men and women after God's own heart, but we find ourselves backbiting one another. Yes, we are men and women after God's own heart, but we find ourselves committing adultery and fornication. Yes, we are men and women after God's own heart, but we find ourselves gossiping and killing one another with our tongue. Yes, we are men and women after God's own heart, but we find ourselves robbing God in our tithes and our offerings, robbing God of faithful service and worship and praise. You see, it's obvious to me that David had been convicted by his sin and his guilt. This is David's psalm of repentance concerning his affair with Bathsheba. David had not fooled anyone. He hadn't even fooled himself. He knew that what he did was wrong. He knew that what he did was wrong in God's eyes and in his own eyes. He knew that his disobedience and sin had broken God's heart, and he knew that it had broken his relationship with God. And as a result, his spirit and his heart were broken to the point that he had to do something about it. And in the spirit of repentance, he begins to ask God to create in him a clean heart and to renew a right spirit in his soul. We all need to work on having a right spirit in our hearts, don't we? We need to come to God in genuine repentance and open ourselves up to Him at the deepest dimension of our lives, because repentance is the key to spiritual healing.